Welcome to the 10-Minute Podcast, powered by Kingdom Plumbing and Heating. I have Clay Bristow here in his truck, the only mobile podcast that is happening in Chilliwack BC.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Hey, you were telling me about a new toy. I want to hear all about it.
Yeah, as you may be aware, and hopefully our listeners are aware, we do drain cleaning and unclogging. Drain cleaning, some people don't know what that means. It just means we unclog drains. I actually put on the side of my van drain cleaning / unclogging so that it was a little bit more easier for people to understand what we were talking about when we say that. But drain cleaning is essentially a service that we provide, whether it be your shower or your bathtub that plugs up and it stops draining, or your kitchen. That's a very common one. Or you got a toy stuck in your toilet because your kids flushed something down there. Or maybe just nothing works in the house and you have a big old plug somewhere in the main drain. We deal with all that. So yeah, I was just talking about we just got a new auger. So we had a K50 auger before that was good for kitchens and doing a lot of stuff like that. I could go about 80 feet with that one. And I was using it to do main lines, but I've upgraded now to the K60 to do the main lines, and we can go up to 150 feet with that one.
Wow.
That one augers really well. So very excited about that. Very excited to have a tool that's a bit easier to use for the big clogs.
Okay. So it's a new and shiny auger.
Yeah, it's very shiny. Gonna get real dirty very soon though.
You've already had a chance to use it?
Not yet. I almost used it today, but they decided to do something else very soon. I'm sure it doesn't take long.
Okay.
For when you're putting stuff down a clogged pipe, it doesn't take long for it to get very dirty.
Yes,
That's
yes.
for sure.
How often do you get called for unclogging jobs or drain cleaning jobs?
I'd say a couple a week at least.
Okay.
Yeah, we get calls for that. Normally kitchens. The kitchen is the big one. People put down bacon grease, food garbage, sauces, and all cut soaps. So the kitchen drains, they clog up pretty quickly.
Hey, today is Wednesday, so there could be one lucky winner. First time use of the new K-something 60.
K60 augering tool.
You are the winner.
Yeah, you're the winner. You could be lucky number one.
That's awesome. What's anything else exciting this week as far as customer type jobs that you want to share?
As far as drain cleaning goes, drain cleaning is one of those jobs where we can throw the auger down and we can get the water to recede, but we don't always know exactly what was wrong with the pipe or if there's more issues with the pipe than what we can see. Sometimes I do have a camera as well. And so we send a camera down. I can send my camera about 300 feet, although that's really only if the pipe's pretty straight, if there's not too many bends. But yeah, I have a locator so we can locate the head. We can see how far down the pipe is. We can see what's in the pipe. So recently, just this past week, I had a client where I had been there before and we had augered it and we had cleared it. But I had said to them, I don't know what was wrong with the pipe. And if this issue persists, then we should look at maybe cameraing the line to see if there's anything more serious going on. I actually had to go back there last week because they had started to clog again. So we snaked it again, got it to recede, and we cambered it. What we found was there was a large piece of, I'm not even sure what it was, but it looked like it was quite thick, about an inch, maybe half an inch to an inch thick, and it was taking up almost all of the piping, all of the 4-inch pipe. It was almost the same diameter. Stuff was getting clogged on this, and obviously a big issue. So I was able to, with my camera, even just keep pushing it down the line. But we eventually got to a place outside of the building, thankfully, where I found that the pipe was compromised in such a way that the pipe was what we call backgraded, meaning if your pipe's meant to be sloped like this, it was sloped the other way. So water was pooling inside the pipe, and so I was able to use my camera and do some spray paint on the ground for them, tell them how deep it was, and they were able to hire an excavation company to dig it up and fix the piping. Sometimes that can be what it needs. Most of the time, we just got to send the auger through and it clears everything out and you're all good to go. But in those situations where the problem persists, it's good to get the camera done.
It was not a bacon wrapped scallop.
No,
Found down there.
not that one. Not that one. I don't know what that was. It looked like a piece of broken plastic or something. I'm not sure.
Oh,
big issue. Lots of stuff gets into drains, and you wouldn't think, how did that get in there?
Yeah.
And we find it.
That's great. That's great. As we wrap up today's episode, anything that you want to share with our viewers or listeners about drain cleaning or drain unclogging?
Yes. Do not use Drano. please. I do not recommend it. People ask me all the time, what should we do? Should we do Drano? Should we do this? Blah, blah, blah. The reason I recommend against using those kind of chemicals is that the fumes that it causes are bad for you to breathe in. It's bad for the environment. It's really bad for the environment. It's also bad for your drainage, actually. If it sits in the pipes for too long, it can start to eat away at your piping. And lastly, it often doesn't work. So it's pointless in the first place. I've always found that the most effective way to deal with a clog is to send an auger down with a thick head, chew up any greases or residue or whatever. And the snake is, of course, quite flexible, so it makes around all the corners, gets everything. And you're back to square one, brand new piping.
Well, thanks for joining us on today's episode, powered by Kingdom Plumbing and Heating with Clay Bristow. You can always find him on his website or telephone number on this video. You'll be able to see it. And until next week, join us again as we catch up with Clay.
Awesome. Thank you.